We're moving the cover crop seeder right now, and then we're gonna get back to the house, and we're gonna start in on that 120 south of the house. That is where basically all of our tests are being done right now on all the beans. We split that 120 in half into 260s, and we basically just put a ton of products on 160 and then just use the other 60 for control. Did a half rate of fungicide on the post trip with the sprayer, brown sugar product, NKBS, just a whole passel of different things. Turning, sir. Don't cut me off. Don't kill me, please. Please don't T-bone me. Thank you, thank you. No train coming. There's a long black train coming down the line. It's a good tune, good tune. Don't go riding on that long black train. Okay, and I need to set up, he keeps forgetting that our boundaries are good. So he keeps driving the ends. I'm like, dude, just do a boundary track. It's already on there. It's like, oh man, I keep forgetting.
This one is not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
What do you mean?
I had to drive these end rows and you set the boundary wrong.
No, what happened was the monitor never updated. It never synced. And so you had the old boundary that I drew. I had to go in and delete the boundary off of this one, the old boundary, remember? But anyway, so I'll get that set up and I'll get the boundary track on there so that he remembers, oh yeah, I can use that. Yeah, that's not gonna go. Everything is just fighting with me right now. Why? Stupid. Good luck getting out of there. Almost lost my cool there. This is the rye and rapeseed as well. Oh. I was kind of half joking when I was getting angry at that safety chain and losing my cool, but Dad is seriously losing his cool with this door. I'm gonna have to edit out half the words he just said. We need new bins, new doors anyway. Or just no bins and haul them all to town like everybody else. That good. Should be better. There we go. It's always nice to just look across here and see that all the crop is mowed down. Now it's time for that guy. I'm gonna need 8 gallons of this Windex. Oh my gosh. All I did was clean Dad's windows and mine. And I am just sitting in a swamp right now. I am sweating so bad. It is already 84 degrees out this morning. The heat index of 1,000,000. I'm so tired of it. I gotta tell you. I know I've complained every single day about the heat, but it's true. I don't know how these guys do it. Still got the whirlwinds going on. I don't know if you can see that. More dry weather to come. We're in the field, the 120. This half, the west half, is where all the juice is. East half is the control. I want you guys to comment down below what you think these beans are going to make across the whole field. And then I want you to make a guess on what the spread is going to be between the west and the east half. Is the west half juiced up going to be 5 bushel better, 10 bushel better, 0, less? What do you think? Make some bets. I'm not going to tell you until the end of the video what the field made or what it's making currently, because we probably won't get finished with it today. But yeah, place your bids. Place your bids down below. Okay, he is at least getting opened up. I got a hopper off of him. But I've still got some beans in the truck, so I gotta get this stuff started. This bin only holds 4,000 bushel of beans, so it's gonna get filled pretty quickly. And then we're gonna have to move over. We got another little, like 3,200 bushel bin. I really wish we had like a 30-foot bin for beans. My ideal would be put up an 80,000 bushel bin next to that 55 for corn, get an air system running to that, get a tall 80 so we can get a side chute to load trucks quickly, and then use the other 2 bins that are sitting there for beans, and just wipe out the rest of the scrap, have room to set in a bigger cold storage, put on some bays on the end of that 60 by 96 shed there, get a wash bay put in. But, you know, I haven't hit the lottery yet. Yowie. The back of this seat is metal. Brilliant, guys, brilliant. I burn my arm every single time I go to rest it to turn anything on. It's honestly a great feature. That is fantastic. Holy cow, that one might take me away. It's coming right at me. Oh! Did that just bless me with some kind of good luck? If anything blesses me, it's usually bad luck. Alright, we are finally into the plot. As you can see, the red and gray beans. We've got Pioneer to the north axis is the gray beans in the center, and then we've got some Pioneer to the south as well. 2 different varieties of Pioneer and 1 variety of Axis. And basically what we got to do is we got to cut this patch on this west 60 and then dump into the cart, weigh it. Then we got to grab this patch on the east 60, dump it out, weigh it, record it, and then he's going to go to either the north or the south Pioneer, run back to the center, dump, run back to the west, dump, and then come back and grab the other Pioneer and dump in the center and on the end again. And we got to record all these weights, so there's going to be 6 recordings, and then we're going to have to leave, like, see how there's 2, we've only got a 35-foot head, so there's 2 rows that are being left right now. So we're going to leave those 2 rows, and at some point either tonight or maybe tomorrow morning, we'll come back with the Ranger and a one of those little wheels that you can set on the ground to get distance. And we're going to have to measure how many feet those rows are on the east and west side, and then go by 35-foot wide, figure out the acres, divide that by the pounds or the bushels, and then yeah, we'll have our checks for how the plots did. And the idea is that the west side is going to be much better. Is that, again, that's the one with all the goodies on it. The east side won't be as good. And we're hoping the Axis seed salesman is hoping that the Axis seed does better than the Pioneer, or at least is up to snuff with the Pioneer. Pioneer beans have always been our best pretty much every year, so that's why we put it up against Pioneer. It's not, we're not those guys like, Pioneer everything. No, we've got our eggs in a whole lot of baskets, but Pioneer seems to always outperform most every year. Last pass on the plot. Okay, Dad is on bin duty currently. We should get this thing filled with what I've got left on the cart. So, you remember we were messing with these motors on the fill augers for the dryers, and the dryer's not working because this motor went bad. We got corn all over the place. You remember how much of a nightmare this drying system has been. I'm just walking back. I parked the dually over here, walking back to help them load the bin, or get set up to the bin. And I realized that the belts are blowing on that motor. Brand new belts. Unbelievable. Nothing about this corn wants to go. This is one of those bins where you really don't know why you fill it anymore. And you tell yourself every year, this thing needs to just come down or we just don't fill it anymore. And then every year we decide to fill it because we've got the beans. So it still has its use. It's just the fact that it's such a pain in the butt. Unloading is the biggest pain because we only got one withdrawal between the two bins. We got to transfer them from the bins over there, transfer the withdrawal over here. It doesn't have a power sweep, obviously, or anything, so you just, honestly, it'd be easier to just vacuum this bin out. We just crushed the lid. Whoops. It'll be fine. Whatever. It's, again, it's one of those bins. It'll work. Okay, he's gonna get that out of the way so that I've got a little more room there. I'm gonna try and get the baby truck tucked as close as I can to that tractor. It may or may not work. So what exactly did you break this time? I need a 13, 15, 18. Just give me the whole toolbox, honestly. I don't know metric. Give me like a 15/16. At this point, a crescent wrench. I don't care. Grab some crescent wrenches too. Because I'm tired of guessing. We're going to have every wrench out of the toolbox. Here, grab some crescent wrenches. Because I got a big guy here, like 1.5 inches. Okay, it's a 22 on these. So I'm starting to paint the whole picture here. You lost your mind probably when this didn't air up and you had to drive all the way to Morton, and then you took it out on the poor McDonald's worker.
No, McDonald's workers screwed up, and that was not a good day to do that.
And so they said, all right, fine, we're not going to give him any sausage patties on his McGriddle. I see what happened here. A little stiff.
A little. Now, I grant you that I am pissed off this morning, but you're giving me these tinky little tools.
Yes, for quickness, speed. Trying to get done. Look at that. Look how fast you're turning that thing.
I was expecting a 1/2-inch breaker bar or ratchet when you brought 3/8 stuff out, and so for God's sake.
Well, I didn't think they'd be that bad. kick on the governor at 125, somewhere in there. There it goes. Wonderful. Okay, well, I did not record first thing this morning because Dad was in no mood. He walked out to the shop. All he wanted to do was start the Kenworth, which we just got the Kenworth fixed. We put a brand new radiator in it. I had it running, it aired up perfectly fine, nothing was wrong. He walks out here, starts it up, will not air up the truck. So of course he absolutely flips a lid because after everything that's been happening this fall, because all he wanted to do was back the pickup up to the shop so that he could put DEF in that little barrel in the back, so that way we could have DEF for the combine. That's all he wanted to do. But instead he had to run all the way to Morton just so that he could pick up a new valve, governor, the whole spiel for the air dryer there, so that he could air up the truck, just to get it moved out of the way from front of the shop, so that he could get to his DEF. So he's not in a good mood. Then on the way home, he went to McDonald's for breakfast, as one does if you ever take a road trip during harvest, and he orders a McGriddle, 2 McGriddles, and an Egg McMuffin. They mess up his order the first time, and he is all about his McGriddles. He has to have a McGriddle if he's going to McDonald's breakfast. Well, they messed up the order, didn't put the McGriddle in, and so he was like, nope, I'm gonna make it a point, like, hey, I want my McGriddles. So they were like, yep, nope, that's our problem. Brought it back out, handed him the bag, and he gets home. Of course, I show up at this point, and he's unwrapping the McGriddle. I said, oh, you got yourself a McGriddle, huh? He said, yeah, it's been a day. Unwraps it, opens the McGriddle. There's no sausage, nothing in it. It's just the little syrup pancake patties. That's it. And he goes, you've got to be kidding me. He said, it's all right, I bought 2 of them. So he grabs the second one. They did the same thing on the second one too. I don't think I've seen more anger in that man's eyes. He was steaming as he was eating those McGriddles, or well, those syrup pancakes. But we got that put on. Everything is working perfectly. I had a bit of an air leak before. I'm assuming it was probably that air dryer system, that valve governor or whatever. It's a good thing he got put on anyway. All right, well, I preemptively just brought the truck out here into the field because I know we're gonna have some beans that we gotta go to town, so I may as well get it out here. That way I can fill it and get it loaded up to go to town. We do have those 4 rows still standing out here from the plot. We gotta get that wheeled off. I'm sure he hasn't done that yet since he was dealing with the Kenworth and driving to Morton this morning. So we're gonna hop in the Ranger, get that wheeled off. That way we can get it the heck out of the middle of the field there. And I'll be able to get those numbers for you finally on what the yield did in that plot. Well, it doesn't need much, but I should probably put some in it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, right. I can't even see it. Where are you, sir? Ugh. Well, I got it. At the cost of excruciating back pain for the next 40 days. I think we're good, yes.
Tell me how fast you can handle it.
That's probably good. Right about there. Well, I just had a slight stroke. We were working on that Kenworth. And, you know, I always have my sunglasses on the top of my hat. And the reason they're always here, even at night, I never set them down anywhere, is because 1, I always lose my sunglasses, or 2, they get broken in some extraordinary way. And so I've never bought nice sunglasses, and I finally bought myself a pair of good ones. The metal ones, that so they won't fall off my face. They just stay tight to my head, you know, Oakley's. I just did it. And I've been very diligent about keeping them on my hat. Well, we were working underneath that truck, and you know, you're always banging your head on stuff when you're working underneath anything. So I take them off so that I don't break the lenses. Now my second rule is always never place them on something that can move. I told myself that. I said just don't set them on anything that can move. Tires, trucks, tractors, what have you, just don't do it. Don't even think about it. Well, we were in a hurry this morning, and Dad was in no mood, obviously, so I just Took them off my hat and set them up on top of the truck. Now you know where I'm going with this. I drove that truck out to the field, and I'm climbing in here, and I said, well, the sun's out, I need to put my sunglasses on. Where are they at? Oh, I left them on that truck. I walked out there. I immediately was like, well, they're gone. I ran them over with that semi for sure. I pulled out into the field, bouncing around, all that stuff, turned around. I just set them on the edge of the catwalk on the back end of that truck. They were still sitting there. By some miracle, they were still sitting there. There goes my luck for the next 6 months anyway. We've had all this bad luck during fall, building up my good luck, and it just all got used on a pair of sunglasses. On the west side of this 120 that had the juice board to it, we had the Axis beans do 73 bushel to the acre, the Pioneer 3.2s do 72 bushel to the acre, and the Pioneer 3.1s did 82.6 bushel to the acre. On the east side that did not have the juice, we had the Axis do 68.7 bushel to the acre. The Pioneer 3.2s did 77.7 bushel to the acre, and the 3.1s Pioneer did 76 bushel to the acre. So I don't know. we did 5 to 6 bushel better on with the juice on two varieties, and 5 bushel less on another variety. So what are we getting from there? I have no idea. That it's variety specific as far as putting the juice on? Well, we're not going to spend that kind of money unless we know exactly what varieties to use. If we know we're going to use Pioneer 3.1s on everything, then yeah, shoot the juice to it. But if not, there's really no point. Anyway, we are just about done with this 120 acres finally. Man, it's times like this that I wish we had a truck driver so that I could just be sitting in the cart right now for the rest of the night, get some good drone footage while the sun sets. But I don't, so there it is. That's all the sunset you get. I rate that one, it's like a 5 out of 10, honestly. Anyway, I still have not taken any trucks to town yet. We decided we're just going to get Dad moved over to the 40 north of here. We're going to get him going as fast as possible here. And hopefully we'll be able to get a cart full and the truck full. And if we can do that, we'll be thrilled. That's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, you didn't actually think that the video was done there, did you? You didn't actually think we might quit early, did you? I told you I used all that luck on those sunglasses. Now we've got some sections that are broken.
10 mil.
10 mil? That's got to be put on first. Now we're done with the day. They're definitely tough now. Might have ran, but we're just going to call it quits. Yeah. Now we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully everything will be hunky-dory in the morning and we don't have anything to fix and we can get started on this early, knock this out, because we got to get this into town by 3 o'clock. So anyway, now we will catch you in the next one. Appreciate you watching.